Hello everyone, I've got another cereal review. Today we're going to be going over Cinnamon Toast Crunch Chocolate Churros cereal. So let's go ahead and get started with this one. I am a fan of the regular, just normal Cinnamon Toast Crunch, so if their brand means anything to you, I don't know what it is about these chocolate churros. I don't have high expectations for them. Pour this in. Kind of long pieces here. You get a look at that. Kind of big and chunky pieces, but we'll see how this goes. It does smell good. Reminds me of other, like when you open the bag of Cocoa Puffs, how you get like a whiff of the chocolate. So that's good at least. That is actually pretty good. It's a little too, in terms of the cereal I usually get, it's a little too hard, but it's not like difficult to bite through. It just seems like it would take a while for these logs to get very soggy. So it's a crunchy cereal, which is good for a lot of people. The chocolate flavor is really muted. I'm not getting a lot of chocolate. There's definitely still cinnamon going on in there. So it's very cinnamony. The flavor actually reminds me a lot of, I guess those cinnamon covered graham crackers, if you put those in milk, because there's a lot of cinnamon, but it's definitely like, I don't know what it is, maybe a more weedy flavor than normal Cinnamon Toast Crunch, but definitely in some of that the chocolate is coming through, but the cinnamon and the sugar flavor is much stronger. So it's certainly comparable to regular Cinnamon Toast Crunch, but I definitely like regular Cinnamon Toast Crunch way better, both in terms of flavor, like the flavor of the cinnamon going with the cereal is better, and I just like a little bit soggier of a cereal. This is still plenty crunchy, but it is good. It's good and it's unique, and that's I think what I like about it is I'm struggling, the flavor, like I said, is kind of like graham crackers, but I'm struggling to think of other cereals to compare this cereal to. It's kind of just doing its own thing. And so, in terms of the flavors, I really like it. And it's always cool, I feel like the whole point of this is to try cereals that are good and different from the standard fare we've been seeing for 50 years. But I don't know if I am into these logs that they're doing. I don't know, it's just kind of weird. I already said I'm more of a soggy cereal person, so that obviously makes them less appealing to me. But it's just like the shape is kind of weird, like a big, thick cylinder is your cereal. There's not anything wrong with it. It's just, I was going to say I'd expect them to be smaller, but it's not even that. It's just the shape is totally throwing me off. It's almost like super sized up Rice Krispies, but they're churros, so they look like churros. But yeah, the flavor is good. Not like amazing. I wouldn't want tons of it, or I wouldn't like go back to it in the cereal aisle, but it's good. And it's something different if you want something different. Um, Now that it's been sitting for a little bit, I am starting to get more of the chocolate flavor. But yeah, like I said, it's very much still Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I wasn't sure which I was going to be getting. But so it's chocolate cinnamon. All right, I think now I'll let this sit for like 3 minutes and we'll see. Yeah, we'll see how it tastes when it gets a bit soggier. Okay, we're back, and it's been 3 minutes, so let's take a look at how the cereal's doing. It's definitely much soggier now. Yeah, the pieces used to be much darker, like had all that chocolate on there. It looks like it's soaked into the milk. And now other than being logs, the color looks a lot more like regular Cinnamon Toast Crunch. So let's see how it is. Okay. Um, yeah, I'm kind of into it when it's more soggy like this. It did stay, like it still has a bit of a relative crunch to it. Um, yeah, but I think because of the ridges going on there, as it sits in the milk for a while, the outer parts are getting soggy and the inner piece of the cereal is still crunchy. So it's kind of nice to get both soggy and crunchy at the same time. I'm definitely getting a lot more of the chocolate flavor now. I think maybe the cinnamon just comes off first because, when I was first biting into it, it was really cinnamony. And maybe it took a little bit of soaking in the milk for the chocolate powder to come off as much. But now when I take a bite, I definitely taste the cinnamon and the chocolate. Um, in terms of the flavor, I don't think I'm into it as much now. It's not like terrible or anything now, but when it was like when I was first biting into it and you get kind of the regular cinnamon sugar milk flavor of Cinnamon Toast Crunch, but with a chocolate piece, it was kind of a like cool, unique flavor. But having this like cinnamon sugar chocolate milk, I'm not as into. It's just like a little too much. Um, but like the same basic flavor is still there, um, which wasn't like my favorite, but it's good and it's interesting. Um, but yeah, I think it's a little bit worse soggy, because yeah, the I think I just I like chocolatey milk like you get with cocoa puffs or stuff like that. I like the cinnamon milk that you get with Cinnamon Toast Crunch, but doing both is a little weird. Um, but yeah, I am impressed that the cereal can sit for like 10 whole minutes in milk and still have some crunch to it. Um, but I'm still not in love with the shape of the logs. Maybe if they cut them in half so they were half as long, like I get that they want the visual appeal of a churro, but it does need to be a size that you can like put a spoonful of them in your mouth. And these are kind of awkward. You're gonna have pieces hanging off the edge, and you're gonna get cinnamon on your lips and stuff. So yeah, I think it's a good idea. I didn't think it would work, but it does. Um, Overall, I think I'd give it a 7 out of 10. Um, I think they should cut the pieces in half so that they're smaller and more like cereal bite size. And maybe if they tried making the pieces actually chocolate pieces and then just putting cinnamon sugar powder over it, because I think having the chocolate and the cinnamon powder is too much. Let's get a taste of this milk. Yeah, it's basically what I was thinking. It's tasty, but it's just a little bit too much going on. It's kind of like regular chocolate milk, but you add sugar. Like it's more sugary, and there's like cinnamon notes going on. It's too many things, but it's still good. Yeah, overall I like the cereal, but they I like that they did something unique. I think that's the big takeaway here. Um, I want more cereals to be doing their own thing. But, they went out on a limb, and I think there's room for improvements in a couple of spots. I don't think it would ever be my favorite cereal, but it's a cool idea. So that's all today, and I'm gonna go ahead and finish off what I've got here.